Looking for cheap Madden or NBA 2K coins? Head on over to my sponsor, buy2kmut.com. They're currently running a special where my code Bkindel will get you 35% off your order. Madden 21 is 2.5 short, but yet very long weeks away. And yet we have no idea about anything coming to Madden Ultimate Team. They're giving us more information on Ultimate Team on August 18th, which is 2 days before EA Access. EA logic. But today we're gonna go through and we're gonna try to predict some of the possibilities that we could get from Mut Master. I don't know about you guys, but at the beginning, Mut Master is what makes games so fun because you were just on that grind to try to get that absolutely OP 95 overall card as fast as possible. Before, it used to be really easy to guess who the Mut Master was because it was just whoever was on the cover. I think Madden 17, it was Gronk, and then after that, they started to switch it over to more cards that'll kind of get people hyped up more. Like in Madden 18, it was Sean T. Everybody loved Sean T. Definitely got people involved in the game. 19, it was Ryan Shazier. And then last year, obviously, it was Pat Tillman. So we're going to go through. I'm going to guess 5 offensive players and then 5 defensive players as well. So there's going to be 10 players total. Hopefully, I get at least one right. There's a lot of things though that you kind of gotta take into consideration when you're trying to come up with who could possibly be the Mut Master. One thing you gotta consider is it's not gonna be somebody that's gonna take away from pack sales or like other promos. For example, we're not gonna get Randy Moss. We're not gonna get a Deion Sanders. We're not gonna get like Lawrence Taylor. Anybody that sells packs. So anyways, guys, I got 5 for each side of the ball. We're gonna start out with the offensive side. When it comes to offense, there are really only 2 positions that I feel like it's a possibility it could be: tight end and wide receiver. Reason for that being is because you're obviously not going to get a fucking lineman. Bro, I swear to God, if it's a freaking offensive lineman, I'm getting rid of Madden 21 the second it comes out. But it's not going to be a running back or a quarterback either. Reason for that being is, like we talked about, EA, it's a very money-hungry company. They're not going to take away from cards that you can get later in the year. Mut Master, it's going to be a 95 overall, just like it has been in previous years, and that card's going to last you for a long time. I'm guessing till at least January, till you would even think about replacing it. So we're talking about like, what, 5 months into the game, almost half the year, and then it'll get upgraded to 99 overall later, which will kind of make you not have to spend the money or the coins to upgrade that position. But if it's a quarterback or running back, you're taking away from a lot of cards that will sell EA packs. Like for a quarterback, Lamar Jackson, that's going to sell a lot of packs. Patrick Mahomes, gonna sell a lot of packs. Aaron Rodgers, same thing. Michael Vick. If you make the Mut Master a quarterback, people won't feel like it's necessary to upgrade at the position because they already got decent quarterback as is. Same thing with running back. You got Saquon, you got Zeke, you got a lot of good running backs that you could see this year, and it'll take away sales from EA. But that being said, I'm gonna get into my first prediction on the offensive side of the ball in Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez is the best receiving tight end in NFL history, and his stats always show for it. We take a look at his Madden 20 card. He got 98 overall this year. He had alright speed at 89, but that's not what you care about. You care about these catching stats. 97, 97, 95, 97, 95. The dude's an absolute freak, especially if you get down in the red zone. Sitting at 6'5", 243 pounds. That boy's gonna flex on you. He's gonna moss the shit out of you and then teabag your body as he's in the end zone. I feel like Tony Gonzalez, if he was the Mut Master, I honestly wouldn't be mad about it. I feel like Tony Gonzalez would be a pretty good Mut Master. He'd be very similar to the way Gronk was as the Mut Master. What was it, Madden 17? He'd be very receiving heavy, but he wouldn't be very good in the blocking department. 6'9" run block. Nice. Next up, we're gonna go with a player that's very involved in EA. He plays a lot of the EA games. He plays Madden. He plays FIFA. He's very passionate about the game. Number 85, Ocho freaking Cinco. Like I said, this guy's very passionate about EA games. He's always in Madden, except for last year for whatever freaking reason. But he just always had a very well-balanced, solid card in the game. Also, remember last year, he did hint that he is going to get a Madden card in the near future soon. Obviously, we never got it, but we know that EA has his rights. He literally works for them as a ratings adjuster, I'm pretty sure. He was doing like those interviews with the wide receiver rookies like a month ago. Chad Johnson makes a lot of sense. His last card was in Madden 19. See, this 98 overall. He was, like I said, just always balanced card with good speed, good route running, good catching. Ocho Cinco fucks when it comes to Madden, bro. We're gonna go with a big boy next, but the trend of wide receivers and receiving weapons continues. I got Harold Carmichael here. Harold Carmichael hasn't been a man in about 2 years. His last card came right here in Madden 18 with that 98 overall. Take a look at his stats. He had nothing special about him besides good Good spec catch, good catch in traffic, good release. Not the fastest guy, alright catching stats, But that's not why you get Harold Carmichael. People liked him because the dude's fucking 6'8". It was just very easy back then, especially with how good aggressive catch was, to high point the ball, and more times than not, he would come down with it. And if you remember how OP the animations were in the beta, this is the perfect mode for Harold Carmichael to come back, because I feel like the aggressive catch is back, it's easier to swerve people. Harold Carmichael, 6'8", dude just makes a lot of sense. We got another tight end, boys. There's not too many good tight end options, but I believe this is a good one. It's one a lot of people know, and a lot of people I feel like would be disappointed, but if you think about it at the beginning there, this would be a really good card. Shannon Sharp. And this is actually perfect to look at. He had a 96 overall. It's going to be 1 overall higher than what the Mut Master is going to be at the beginning of the year. So just minus probably 1 overall for each stat. And this is kind of what the card will look like. He'd have about 88 speed, a little over 90 catch, 92 catch in traffic, spec catch good route running. Overall, this card would just be a very good card to have in the first few weeks of Madden. He also had good run blocking. He was just very well balanced. Speed, good catch, good run blocking, and I know a lot of people would be disappointed and just pissed off if this was the Mut Master. But I'm telling you, a Shannon Sharp at 95 overall with these stats, going against some of the linebackers and corners and safeties that he'd be facing at the beginning there, would just be so OP. My 5th offensive player that I have is Steve Smith. He's just a little guy staying at 5'9". But Steve Smith kind of did it all. His last card came in Madden 19 as well. 97 overall card right here. He had 94 speed, very elusive. He even had 95 stiff arm. Dude may be 5'9", but dude's got a fucking heart of gold. 92 break tackle. Like, look at all these after the catch stats on this 97. We might have to like lose about 2 on each stat if he were the Mut Master, but still, this card would be absolutely insane at the beginning there. It'd be impossible to tackle him. So we went through a couple of offensive options that could be the Mut Master. Now we kind of got to get into the defensive side, which defense has ruled when it comes to the Mut Master. Ever since they switched from the cover athlete to just kind of doing whoever the fuck they want, it's been 3 straight defensive Mut Masters. Could that be a trend that they're going to continue going, or could they switch it up? We don't know. But what I do know is that on offense, they're very limited. Like I said, more than likely it's going to be a tight end, it's going to be a wide receiver. They're not going to take away from their pack sales with quarterbacks and running backs. Defensive side of the ball, they got a lot more options because there's more depth positions. Safety, there's not a ton of great players that come out every year. Cornerback, you can have 3. Defensive line is what it is. Middle linebacker, like, I don't know, man. There's just a lot more options that's not going to take away from the sales of EA. That's why they continue to go with the defensive side of the ball. So I'm just going to get this one out of the way because I almost guarantee you this isn't going to happen. But we're going to go an all-time great Charles Woodson here. Charles Woodson would get people interested to play the game. It would get people to absolutely grind. People would be hyped as hell knowing that Charles Woodson is back and they'd be set up for having a great year in Madden 21. The only problem with it is, yes, I do believe that Charles Woodson is going to be in the game at some point this year. But why would EA drop him at the beginning of the year? A name like that is going to sell packs. Plus, if we think about it, Mut Master, they got their card. It's a 95 overall. They'll get their upgrade around like Easter or whatever to a 99 overall. That's it. Those are the only cards that they get. They sell nothing. Pat Tillman didn't get a card. Shazier didn't get a card. Frickin' Sean Taylor year before didn't get any other cards. So why would they give out a card that is going to sell packs and isn't going to get an upgrade later in the year to help them sell more packs? To me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense, but I do think that Charles Woodson will be in the game later this year. So next up, we're going to get into ones that I feel like actually do have a legit possibility, like big hitting Cam Bam. I got a big cock Chancellor. Dude, imagine the hype around him. The only problem is last year we got a very similar card with Pat Tillman, a safety that hits hard. That's what Cam Chancellor is. Take a look right here. I believe this is Madden 19. He's got 96 overall, which is perfect because once again, we can just -1 on all his stats, and that'd be similar to what a Mut Master would look like. So we'd have okay speed around like 90, good zone coverage, very good zone coverage, but right here, the 98, I'ma punch you in your freaking face. Hit power. That would get people hyped. Everybody loves hit power. Everybody loves big hitters. The speed's a little disappointing, but zone hit power, the car will be an absolute beast. But like I said, does EA want to be very predictable and just kind of keep going the same route that they've gone? 2 of the last 3 Mut Masters have been safety with Sean Taylor. Then we got a break in between with Ryan Shazier, but then the Pat Tillman. Do they go another safety? This one's going to be very similar to the Shannon Sharp one because it's one that it's not new. It's not something that's going to drive hype, but it would be a hell of a card if we got it, and that's Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc cards just always play well because they got good speed, good zone, very good hit power and block shed for a cornerback. A card like that at the beginning of the year would just be endless possibilities of what you can do on defense. You can blitz him off the edge to help stop the run, sack the quarterback. He's going to get there. He's going to lay the hit. Or you can put him in zone coverage. He's going to lock down every wide receiver in the game for the coming months. We'll take a look at his stats from last year's game. He's also 6'3". He's got the size, 93 speed, so a little bit on the slower side, but 94 zone coverage, 87 hit power, 84 pursuit. Card just did everything for a cornerback, and I believe like he'd be very good. Just like Shannon Sharp does everything well. He just wouldn't be the hyped up card that people are looking for when it comes to Mut Master. So now we'll get into some linebackers to close it off here. I got Ray Nitschke being a pretty solid choice, honestly. We'll look at his Madden 19 card right here. 87 speed, 94 block shed, 98 pursuit, 97 tackle, 94 hit power, 90 zone. This card's absolutely insane. He does everything you could possibly want out of not only a user, but a card that you can off-ball to and just have him do his own thing. There's a ton of middle linebackers that we could get as the Mut Master. Brian Urlacher, Dip Buckus, but I believe Ray Nitschke will be a very good one. I believe it'd bring at least a little bit of hype just because he is such a good card. And then my final choice for the defensive side of the football, I got a Cowboy great, DeMarcus Ware. See, the thing that I've noticed with Madden though is a lot of times they'll bring Mut Masters, at least the last 3 years, that you can sort of use, that it's not going to kind of be on their own. Like for example, a lot of people will use their safety. A lot of people got to use that, Sean Taylor and Pat Tillman. Everybody and their freaking mother uses their middle linebacker. That's why they kind of did with Ryan Shazier and why he was so popular. DeMarcus Ware is 1000% an off-ball linebacker, off-user linebacker. It's not somebody you're going to use or somebody you're going to allow go after the pass. I feel like it's not going to be him just from that example alone. I believe they're going to go with somebody that you can use her. So that kind of takes away him and Mont Blanc a little bit. But I just don't see EA also going back to kind of the same trends. So maybe they surprise us, give us an offensive player this year. Anyways, guys, that is 10 predictions. 5 on each side of the ball, 5 offense, 5 defense of who I think could be the man 21 Mut Master. What are the odds one of these is actually the Mut Master? None. It's not gonna fucking happen. None of these will be the Mut Master. He is gonna keep on the down low. We might hear about it on August 18th when they kind of do their stream going over their Ultimate Team stuff. Or maybe Mut Leaks comes out clutch and gives us some info like last year. One thing I do know for sure though is I bet Mut Master is gonna be somebody we do not expect. Think about last 2 years, they've come completely off base. We've had no idea who the Mut Master was till right before the game dropped. Ryan Shazier, who would have guessed it would have been Ryan Shazier? Pat Tillman, nobody knew he was gonna even be in the freaking game. So I think Mut Master, it's gonna be somebody new. It's gonna be somebody who's not in the game yet, but it's also gonna be somebody that builds hype around the game to get people to start grinding, but not take away from EA's pack sales. Anyways, guys, those are 10 guesses of mine. Odds are none of them will be it, but I want to hear your guys' thought in the comment section. Which one of these would be your favorite to be the Mut Master besides Charles Woodson? Because everybody's gonna fucking pick Charles Woodson. And also, let me know in the comment section your prediction for who the Mut Master is going to be. If I had to take a guess off that list, honestly, I think Cam Chancellor makes a ton of sense. It's just a matter of fact if they want to keep going that safety trend or if they want to switch it up. I think Cam Chancellor would be a great addition to the game, and I also think he'd be a fan favorite, kind of get people hyped up. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'm out. Peace.